Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 83. My name is Heidi, and you can find me as Undead Yarn on Instagram and Undead Yarn on Twitter. And on Ravelry, I'm Nitty Girl. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing good. The weather here today, it's warm, but yesterday was amazingly beautiful. It was 85 degrees. I know, February. Can you believe it? It was 85 degrees and sunny, and it was just lovely. And we were outside. We went and did some shopping, but it was one of those outdoor strip mall things, so it was kind of nice. We got to be outside while we were doing it. Before we start, I wanted to say thank you to Davina, who made this for me. She is the daughter of the ladies who do the Pin, Hook, and Needles podcast, and I really appreciate it. I found that it matches quite a few things that I own, so thank you, Davina. I'm going to go ahead and get started. My hair is driving me nuts, you can tell. I'm not used to it being this long. It's been a long time since I've had long. Well, I don't think I've ever really had long hair. My hair usually grows to about where it is now and then kind of stops. It doesn't really grow any longer, and it kind of is a little bit longer than it normally grows. Because when I brush it out, when I brush out all the curl, it goes further down my back than before. But anyway, I'm not used to that. Let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple of works in progress, and some of them you've seen before, and then I have one new one. I wasn't going to show it, but I figure I'm working on it, I might as well, and maybe one of y'all will know what the yarn is. It's a mystery yarn. I'm still working on my second sock out of the Wild Rumpus colorway of Undead Yarn. And that's pretty true to color. It's got blues, and it's on Sparkle. It's got blue and purple and pink and black and yellow. And I have that in my Silver Shed Studio bag. This is her small version. And then I have in my large Silver Shed Studio bag, I don't think I had started this yet the last time I podcasted. It feels like it's been a while, but it has just been a little bit over 2 weeks. But I have been working on my Corvita shawl. It's been slow going for me because beginning starts with short rows, but I have to make sure I'm putting the markers in the right places and turning at the right places. So now my yarn's tangled. But I'm using the Nevermore colorway in Undead Yarn. And the shawl is Corvita, which is, I believe it's supposed to mean raven. And so I put it in my raven bag by Silver Shed Studios. And this one is the medium bag. And it's a good size for a shawl because shawls seem to spread out more, and I am using my Chai-Goos. I love Chai-Goo needles. The other ones I think are Chai-Goos as well, and those are the two main things I've been working on. I have to get back more into this because I want to finish this by the end of March. I hope I can do it. I'm going on a retreat in a few weeks, so hopefully I will bring this with me and be able to finish it. Maybe not finish it on the retreat, but I'm hoping that I'll get a lot of time to knit. And then my last one is in my Schniffatil bag. I should probably look up and see what the name of her shop is because I forget. I just think of her as Tracy Schniffatil and her podcast. She has the Passionate Spinner podcast. And I love this bag. I love the colors. It's fairly big, and so all the yarn I got, I went to Joann's to get, I can't remember what I was looking for. I was looking for something in particular, but I don't remember what right now. But I ran into, they have mill-ends a lot there, and most of the time I can tell what the mill-ends are, but I couldn't tell what these were. I just knew it was wool and acrylic, so I knew it would be washable. And I have one of the blankets I made several years ago. My dogs have just put it through the ringer like they like to scratch on blankets. I guess it's like they're making a den, and so they've pulled a lot of the strands so far out that I can't fix it, and it smells like dog, and yeah, I could wash it, but it's still going to have all those strands stuck out everywhere, so I'm probably going to get rid of that one as soon as I finish this one, and I'm enjoying this. When I have a blanket with them, I try to make it something that's washable, except for that little scrap thing I'm making for them. That's going to be like a mat, so I won't have to wash it as much, but this is what the yarn looks like. And I have no idea what it is because it's not familiar to me. It's basically black, and then the orange stripes are actually, it looks kind of like when you do a 2-ply, the orange stripes are black and orange. I'm not sure what the yarn is, but I like the way it's knitting up. I think it's going to be a fun blanket. Probably won't be downstairs where everybody is, but it will be one up here that I use with my pets when we like to take naps together sometimes. So those are the things that I've been working on. I have no idea what this yarn is, so if you know or you have a guess, let me know. I'm curious to know what it is. I have 4 balls of it, and the balls look pretty big, but then again, it is a bulkier yarn, so if I wanted to get more, I really don't know. I don't know which yarn to look for, so if I did know what it was, I could find it. Anyway, let's move on. Weeks in review. Last weekend, I met with my friends Jeanette, Bookish Stitcher, and Summer, who is Summer of Kitchen Stitches podcast, and we met at Book People, and we walked around Book People, and I should go get it. I got the cutest shirt, and y'all, I just saw it, and I wasn't going to buy anything in there. I did get Knitters Magazine, and I thought it was the last issue, because I know the last issue is coming up, but I think I may have gotten the one before the last issue. Doesn't matter. I liked a lot of the patterns in there, so I did get it, and I think there are several in there that I would like to knit, so I bought it because that hasn't happened to me when I look at a magazine in a long time. But I want to show you the t-shirt because it's really cute, and it makes me think of my Wild Rumpus colorway. Now, I always thought that Austin was the only city that had this quote-unquote saying about it, but apparently there are other places that use this saying too. We have a saying called Keep Austin Weird, and it's a reference to back probably before I even moved here. It used to be more of a funky, eclectic place, and it still is. I mean, if you look at Austin compared to the rest of Texas, it's definitely a lot more funky and eclectic. Most of Texas is pretty conservative, but you can find anybody living here. And you can find anybody working anywhere here, pretty much. But because of that, they have this t-shirt, and I just had to get it. Austin is also known for its bats. And so that's a little bat wild thing, and it says Austin, where the weird things are. And I just fell in love with the t-shirt. It's so cute. And it is very Austin-y. So I had to buy that. I'm not going to show you all the magazine because, you know, you can go look at a magazine if you want. I think it's not the last issue. It's the issue before the last issue of Knitters, and it's got a lot of summary projects in it. So that one I kind of liked, and so I ended up getting it. And then after that, we went and we ate at Huts, which is a big, well-known burger place in Austin. They have, not only do they have regular hamburgers, which are made from grass-fed beef that I'm not sure, I think it's from Austin, the grass-fed beef they get. If not, it's from nearby. And then they also have bison burgers, and you can get veggie burgers. So that was good for all of us. So we all went and had a burger over there at Huts. It was really good. And then after that, we went to Hill Country Weavers. And Hill Country Weavers has recently moved. They used to be on South Congress, but now they've moved down south to Manchac, and they're still in a house. And it's pretty close to Ben White Boulevard, which is Highway 71. So if you were coming to Austin if you're coming to Austin from outside of Austin, you could find it by going down 71 and turning right onto Manchac. And that is where it is. Well, that's if you're coming from I-35, which most people will be. I know some people might be coming from Mopac, but I think most people from out of town will be coming from 35. But that's where it is. It's near the intersection of Highway 71 and Mopac. And it's a beautiful new house. The windows are lovely. Apparently, and somebody actually owned the house before Hill Country Weavers bought it, and so I guess they must have refurbished it. I know that Susanna of Hill Country Weavers had told me that she was busy doing a lot of work on the house before they were able to get all their stuff in there, move all their stuff in there and get it going. But lovely shop still. They have an area where you can have classes, and there's a lot more room in this area. They used to have a really big table in this really small room, but now they have a lot of room to move around in that area. And then there's several rooms, and all the stuff is all spread out now. Before, they were in a smaller house, and everything was kind of in close quarters, but this, you feel there's plenty of room, there's plenty of light, and there's a fireplace, and there's places to sit and knit. It's really cute. And of course I had to get something because I was there. And what I went for was yarn by my friend Anna of Yarn Carnival, who is one of the people who's part of our knit along. I'm really thirsty today, so I'm just drinking some Canada Dry. I like to drink the waters, the sparkling waters that don't have any calories. And it's funny, I know some people don't like them. I've had some people at work call it nasty water. And I know my dad doesn't like it, and I know other people don't like it, but there are several of us actually at work that like that. So that's not one of my favorites, but the Canada Dry is pretty good. I like all the ones that have a little bit of a flavor to them. Anyway, I was looking specifically for Anna's Yak Attack yarn, which is the yarn that Susanna IC used in her Kinbane shawl. And I found this colorway that was dyed specifically for Hill Country Weavers. And so I bought it. And this is called, what is this colorway? Renaissance. Ooh, pretty name. And it's really beautiful. It's got a greeny golden glow with blue, and then the color of the yak, which is kind of grayish brown. But the yarn feels really lovely, and it's 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And I am not sure what I'm going to do with this. It's funny because it's a nylon. I'm tempted to knit socks, but I bet this would make a beautiful cowl or a beautiful shawl. I'm not sure. I have not decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I just really like these colors together. And I was talking to one of the ladies in the shop. She knows Anna too, and she said that this color is actually a yellow, and it came out this beautiful mossy green. Because the yak yarn starts with this natural color. It's not ecru like most yarn that we dye. So I thought that was really cool. And this is very beautiful, and it is going to go in my stash, which I am going to tell you guys, I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed by it. And I'm going to have to start being a lot more picky about what I buy. I'm going to try to stick to the festivals I go to, but I'm sure I'll buy some things here and there, but I won't be having the huge enabling sections that I have in the past, because I really do need to pare down what I have. And my next big project, after I get my business taxes done, is to go through all my project bags, because I've gone through my yarn and I put a lot of it up on DStash. So if you're looking for anything, there's a lot of stuff up on DStash and on my Ravelry group. And I am just not having good luck with lighting in here. I feel like I get blown out when I put the light directly on me, but if I put it too far, I get a shadow. So, okay, that's a little bit better. I am kind of blown out in this. I am not crazy pale, but I'm somewhat pale. Anyway, I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I was talking about, I think I was talking about the knit-along and I went off on a tangent on something. So anyway, those are the things that I've been working on, and last week what I did, I also bought some yarn by Debbie Bliss. It was a Donegal tweed that I think is either going out of, either it's on its way out, it's a clearance item, or the shop is discontinuing it. I'm not sure which, but it's really thick and I love it. You feel it, and it's funny. It says it's wool and Angora, but it doesn't feel soft. And it's got all these little different color flecks of tweed, and it's beautiful. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it because I have 3 skeins, and 2 are orange and 1 is purple, and so that's about 300 yards. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And I don't want anything that, I wouldn't mind doing a shawl or maybe a top or something, but I'm not sure if I have enough yardage. I'm going to have to figure that out. So anyway, on to the knit-along news. Right now there's only 2 entries in the knit-along, so y'all get cracking. We have a lot of really nice prizes. It's not just the kit that I have available that I showed you last week, the sock kit for that alien sock, which is amazing. But I'm going to give away a skein of my yarn. And then for people who knit and finish a Susanna IC shawl in any yarn, you'll be eligible to win a skein from Yarn Carnival. I told you she has this yak yarn now too, guys. Or you can win a skein from my friend Barn Owl Yarns, Enid, who does those beautiful gradients. Or you can win a pattern by Susanna IC. Or you can win a pattern. If you post on Instagram, you don't have to finish your whole item. You can post on Instagram with the hashtag Undead DAL, and DAL is in capitals. And you can be entered to win a $10 or less pattern from anybody that's giftable on Ravelry. So y'all go enter because you have a great chance to win. And Susanna has a lot of things to pick from. You don't have to do a shawl. You can do anything you want, and you can use any yarn you want. It's just if you use Yarn Carnival or my yarn or Barn Owl yarns to make your shawl, then you'll be eligible to win that great prize from Benita's Story, who does the Fiber Pusher podcast. Let me show it again. It's this amazing pattern for these alien socks, and she's provided us with all the yarn, so you get the pattern and the yarn. You don't have anything left to buy except for your needles. So I just wanted to say, y'all go check out the stuff because Susanna has some amazing patterns. And I know that the Penhook and Needles podcast is also doing a sweater shawl along, so you could post there as well. And I know that Susanna is doing a couple of knit-alongs in her group. She has one for purple, anything purple out of her patterns. Well, you can use purple yarn and knit anything, any one of her patterns. And she just put out a cowl and a hat pattern that you could use. I just bought it because it's one that she showed me. I saw the FO in person when she gifted it to our friend Shanita. And I really like the stitch pattern on the hat and the cowl, and they match. And it was a pretty good deal. I think it was $5.50 for both. I believe both patterns came together in that pattern. And what else? I'm losing my train of thought today. Sorry, guys. But she has some really great patterns, and if you can finish them, like I said, a hat doesn't take that long, and she's got several hat patterns. And she does have cowl patterns, and she does mostly do shawls, but she does also have some sweater patterns. There are other places you can post your finished objects. Like I said, Penhook and Needles has the sweater and shawl along. And then Crocheting Hoovian has her Me, Myself, and I, which is if you knit whatever you're knitting, you knit for yourself. You can post in her thread too, and all those people are giving away prizes. And it's also just fun to participate in the community. It's nice to get feedback on your items that you've made. Usually people love to comment. The 2 items that were made that have been entered into the Susanna IC in my group so far are just beautiful, and I posted them on Instagram. One of them was a pleated shawl that I didn't know. I mean, Susanna has so many patterns, it's hard to keep up with them, but she had a pleated shawl pattern that somebody made with beads, and most of her stuff she designs it so that you can put beads in it, but you don't have to. But it looks so stunning, the pleats with the beads, and then somebody just made the Kinbane shawl. And like I said, I don't believe this is the exact yarn because it's green, and I think it's one of these. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look at the pattern. I don't remember, but it is this Yak Attack yarn that she used for that Kinbane shawl. So go enter, guys. Get to be a part of it. It's a lot of fun, and it's fun to see what other people are doing and get inspiration from other people. So that's what's been going on lately. At this point, I don't think I have anything else I need to share with you guys, except that this knit-along runs from now into the end of May. I do have something coming up in a few weeks that is a surprise that I can't talk about quite yet, but stay on the radar. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our next knit-along group, which will start in April, is going to be for Laura Smoot, and I have some of her things I have not finished yet that I'm going to do, and I'm thinking about knitting some fingerless gloves. She just put out a fingerless mitt pattern that goes all the way up. It goes from small all the way up to extra large, which is good because when I knit those gloves for my husband, or the mittens, they didn't quite fit him. And it was supposed to be for a large. So her pattern goes all the way up to extra large, so I'm hoping that will work. So I already have plans for that. Like I said, I've got a surprise coming up in a couple of weeks, collaboration with some other people. And I look forward to talking to you guys about that, but I can't yet. It's just on the horizon. And with that, I think I'm ready to tell you guys, get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.